Hey guys, what up? It's T coming at you with a reading for today. I wish I didn't have to stop that music, but at the same time, I don't know if I can literally channel while also listening to music, but I can a little bit when it's like in the background. But all I have to say is good morning. It is October 6th, and it is the entire, well, actually, no, the beginning of this day, this reading is gonna be for 3 p.m. today, which is gonna be love, marriage, and relationships, into tomorrow, which is Friday, all day that I have labeled it to be. Basically, I'm going to just put both of it together, traditional and transitional, which is family, and sorry, not family, wow, that went just way backwards. Talk about Libra area, Libra sign. It is future, is what I meant to say, future, children and creativity. All right. So for me, the color of today's reading would be more so of a like a magenta pink, okay, but also if you're getting to the deep passions, it can definitely be red. And then for tomorrow, it's orange. So they're definitely a bit fiery, which is pretty good, actually, because I'm just thinking of the astrology of today. There is a lot of air and a lot of earth going on. And so if you add a little bit of fire to it, it actually balances out pretty well. And obviously, since we're talking to spirit and I have the fan on, it is wind. And I have water right next to me and my emotions inside of me, which is water. So we're doing all that jazz. Anyhow, so we're going to have a very well-balanced reading. Today is basically an extra magical day, I do have to say, in accordance with astrology. So it's really fantastic, in terms of, you know, how we're being elevated is what I want to say. Elevated and also evolved, more so evolved. Elevated and evolved. So give me 1 second, guys. Interesting. We have like kind of sort of an air card. Oh my god, this is so interesting, Spirit. Yo, this is nuts. Okay, so I took out my angel card, my angel answers oracle deck, okay? And I was gonna say my angel answer deck, but it could be both. And so, long story short, what I want to say here is so interesting because the yin card for today is definitely a Libra card, and it's about compromise. It says compromise on it, but also that means kind of like even keeled, judgment happening, justice more so than judgment. And then on a yang scale, it's so crazy because there's like so much going on in terms of excitement in my mind right now, where it's like the yang card for tomorrow is meditation brings answers, where the female is kind of in the earth element of receiving. So she is super grounded, right? In the card, in what the card indicates. So when you're I was just literally talking about how there's air, which is an air sign, right? Libra, and that's what we're in. And then also how there's a grounded energy of today, which is, you know, more so of like sitting on the ground and being in meditation, right? So this is very interesting. It's very, also what I want to say is it's not only just being grounded, like to the ground, it's literally being of gratitude. So I'm just putting all of these ideas out there, and I think we might just freeball it in terms of like just being free about this reading. But wherever I need to kind of, structurize it, I will, which I actually kind of like doing. I like being that way. I don't know if people really know that about me. Like, some people might see me more structured. Some people might see me more fucking, fluid in terms of, just like, can't like hold on to anything. But the whole thing is, I'm just pretty, not that I have to explain myself, but I just feel very in tune with, everything's temporary. And also, I don't know what I was just talking about there, so I'm just going to keep on going. But basically, long story short, and in the midway happy way in terms of the transition between the compromise of today and tomorrow's meditation brings answers, there is something that I feel like you should know, that this card is saying that there's something better, okay? And here's what I feel like people might be struggling with today is they know this deep down inside, is that there is something better, right? They know this. This is a knowledge. This is the air, right? It's a knowing of sorts. However, I feel as though there might be a little bit of impatience going on, because actually Temperance is a fire sign, and there's not a lot of fire in the air today. So I feel like, maybe there's not a lot of even patience out there, since we're kind of quote unquote like missing an air sign, but not really, because if you take into consideration the quote unquote fire spaces of your feng shui household and kind of go visit them today, I feel like that's also going to help you do a very good job in staying balanced, and also grounded wanted to come out, but especially so in patience. So, and isn't it fucking funny, like how a fire sign, which is all about fucking speed, right? And like getting to the point, is also like Temperance, which is basically patience. How is that possible, right? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, when I'm seen as controversial, which I just kind of went into in terms of how people see me, like, I literally am like flabbergasted and floored every time some sort of like weird shit comes up like that I'm like, it is possible because it just is, you know what I'm saying? So there's nothing really controversial about it. Like, those are super facts of what I kind of just expressed in terms of the spiritual world, right? So like, the whole thing is, it's like, it's super weird to me. Like, it's a phenomenon, and how like, how wildly crazy we are here on earth, you know what I'm saying? In a good way, I'm gonna say. But also, and that just reminds me of like how weird it is too, like when you're talking about the chakras, right? Like the sacral chakra is the most weirdest chakra to me, because, and I love it, I work with it all the time, is that it is literally like one of your, what is it called? Like sex, like your sexual organs are there, right? Like this, so they're like a sex organ, I want to say, right? Or the sexual organs are in it. I don't know how else to express it. But then you also have where it's like children and creativity. So it's like this, like, I want to say, not that it even has to do with purity of sorts, but yes, kind of, sort of, right? Like it's just it's like a wild side, but it's purity, but it's just a weird fucking chakra. Like, why would it be a childlike essence, you know what I'm saying? But then also a sexual chakra, and then like we all get weirded out, which I still like. I still will talk about it in terms of like I'm still grossed out about it. Like, I'm not like okaying it in any way whatsoever. But my whole thing is, then we have like pedophilia that exists that isn't normal, which, I would never question otherwise, but I do, in a sense, kind of like make myself like sometimes it comes to my head and how weird that is, like quote unquote, not that I would ever normalize it, is what I'm trying to say, not that I would ever condone it or normalize it, but I do question universe and spirit sometimes being like, you know, like oddly, why isn't that like a normal thing? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so weird. Like, if it's like like for instance, like I'm gonna tell you something right now, and not, you know, not putting him into the spotlight about it in a, you know, I'm gonna say negative or positive way. I'm gonna say more so in a positive way, because it is a negative thing, right? So I'm not trying to put him in a positive light about it, but like, for instance, Michael Jackson, right? Like, he's one of those people that, like, it's very interesting. I'm not going to go into it, but it's very interesting in terms of how he was, like, literally kind of sort of both, where it was like he was so in tune with his sexual creativity of sorts, right? Like a genius at it. You know what I'm saying? But then also was perceived by the world to be the biggest fucking pedophilia person, right? And like, but the whole thing is, you know, it's weird because both of them, I'm not going to say they're connected because, you know, but like, again, it is kind of a yin or yang thing. This is what I'm trying to say. Maybe yin or yang, right? But it's like weird. And so it also makes me think back to like what my cousin always used to say. She was like, you know, the human body is just fucking built like weird, you know? And it's kind of true. Like, it's like we were just built a little off, I feel. And when it comes down to that. So yeah, so it's just like, I don't know, it's just like a very weird thing. It's like we were built to be very like compact, I feel like functional, I want to say, right? And like it could be both in a negative or a positive way, but I'm always sticking to the purely positive. Like, even if I mention fucking negative shit that like doesn't make any sense, or why would you even say that type of shit, I'm always permanently, prosperously, and profitably siding with the fucking what is right, what is correct, what is traditionally seen as like right, and you know, as right, and like what, like that type of thing. Like, I don't really normally sway from there unless it really truly doesn't make any fucking sense. That I'm like, yo, fuck this and fuck this hard. And then we're moving on to evolution in terms of what, you know, basically coming out of what makes no fucking sense to coming into what makes sense, but only in the highest and best and most joyous and most freeing aspect for all, right? I think maybe that's why pedophilia is actually so super disgusting, is because of the fact that it's very negatively selfish. It's very like, it's as if like, you know, I don't know what to say. Like, something that popped up into my head is like a fucking, you know, animal, like, it's an animal-like way that it's like, it's barbaric, and it's kind of like when a female, you know, eats her children, you know what I'm saying, like, in the animal world. Like, it's fucking weirdly off. Like, we're supposed to be a little bit more evolved than that, right? So again, that whole patience thing is coming up, and there was something that I had to fucking release there, so I don't know what the heck that was, but my whole thing is, it's gobbledygook. That's what I'm getting. It's like, it's just all fucking gobbledygook, where it's like fucking disgusting. You're gonna leave it to the side. We're gonna move on in terms of purityness. You know what I'm saying? And when I say not leave it to the side, like, it's not like condoning, like, oh, we're gonna forgive it. Like, I'm one of those people that it's like, you know, let God forgive it, because we as people, since we're built so fucking, you know, multi-dimensional, and then multi-usage, and like multi-compactual, like we're like built like a piece of furniture where like two things are meant for one thing. Like, it does. It's like fucking weird. It's fucking weird that that basically, you know, we're gonna just let God basically forgive everything that we kind of sort of can't with our quote unquote. It's very interesting because it's some people say it's our limited meat body, but then it's also this vast. So interestingly enough, earthly bound, it's like a limited meat body, right? And then when you're talking about imagination and connection to spirit, it's so vast, it's so supremely, and that's the air element, it's like so large, you know what I'm saying? So again, the earth element is, I think, the triangle pointing up, and the air element is the triangle pointing down, which is earth element is receiving, air element I think is the receiving of the, like I said, the vastness of it all. It's like a funnel, and yet the earth element is more so, it's grounded, right? But then it also sends its mind or its prayers or its meditations up to the universe, right? So, by the way, for you Jews out there, congratulations, I'm going to say, on our recent, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, like it's not coming through. Our recent holiday, thank you. So it's a high holiday, but it's also extra potent today because we do have the two trines that are happening that actually makes the David Star, right? So that's just literally drawing you a picture in case you couldn't put your imagination to it, but like that's what's going on today in the universe. So it's kind of like this really interesting giving and receiving, and a very well balanced essence of it. But also I want to say in the center of it, as like the two elements kind of are merged, I feel that you should know that as you're kind of putting thoughts and decisions into everything today, that there is something better. I feel like you're trying to fit a box into, a box shape into a circle, or a circle into a square, which I love saying that in the earthly negative way, but also I love it in the spiritual way because that's really heaven on earth depending on the size of it, right? So like a square absolutely can fit, a smaller square can absolutely fit into a larger shape of a circle, right? But like if it's the same fucking size, they're not gonna fit. So I feel like, again, today we're talking about same sizes, I feel, and I just, on an earthly level, and I feel as if that midway happy way is for you guys to know that there is something better. So don't try to make something fit of which is not fitting, right? And I just feel like, first of all, I'm gonna just say this right now because it's coming through. In terms of relationship-wise, the advice and suggestion here is, I feel like there's a feminine that might be blocked off because she kind of needs time, but also might be blocked off because she kind of already knows what it is in terms of there is something better. So, and there is a believing essence to it, when there also might be on the other side of the spectrum, of which is the masculine, where I think the masculine might be really kind of getting excited for something that they feel is the truth of the matter, of which is like, oh, they're like ramped up and revved up for true love, but is it true love, right? Like, so my whole thing is, this is a conversation of lust versus love, and love versus lust. So again, we have to have a little bit of patience, I think, in the love area today, of where it's like, this is a conversation of, you may have met your quote unquote shaped match, right? But the whole thing is, it might be an earthly match where it's not so much heaven on earth. It's basically like the same and the same, which cannot go together, right? Like, maybe it's too much of the same, right? So, like, for instance, I'm going to give you a practical idea. two poor people, right? They can have love, but are they going to survive, right? And of course, I believe in the miracle of love, and that is going to prosper two people in terms of surviving. But is it heaven on earth love? No, it's not, because of the fact that you don't have the money and the love, right? And so my whole thing is, that's where the two squares in the circle of the same size don't fit into one another. Like, don't force it, because it's not something that maybe one is open to or the other one is open to, you know? For me, I need both spiritual love, practical love, a real true love, all of that in one package. So I'm not looking for, oh, you know, just love, and love is going to be the answer to it all. I believe in that. However, I'm also super practical in terms of, when I want something the way that I want it, and or better. And the way that I envision a better love, which I'm always about, is going to be filled with lots of money and lots of spirituality. Both. Like, because there needs to be a surviving type of love, you know? But the whole thing is, and surviving in terms of all ways, spiritual, because love is highly spiritual, and also practical, because there has to be a way that you guys can live, like, in a clean manner on this earth, right? And when I say clean is a privilege, okay? So that's what I'm personally looking for, but somebody else might be totally okay with, like, you know, like, oh, you know, I don't fucking know, like, they might just be okay with, you know, both being of the same kind, you know, like so a lot of people are okay with, like, both the yin and the yang, like the opposites attract. That's bullshit to me. A lot of people are okay with, like, oh, I need the same exact person like me, like, I need to, you know, we need to vibe together, which I'm actually more so of. But at the same time, is it healthy to have an actual person that's, like, the same as you? That would be kind of cool, because I don't, like, a twin would be really cool, you know? I've always been fascinated by twins, but my whole thing is, it's like, even twins need their own fucking lives, you know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, it's like, I don't know how that would work out, but more so, I know it would be a lot better, for instance, than, you know, opposites attract, because I've grew up in that opposites attract bullshit, and I am not a part of that life. That is not my type of life whatsoever. But my whole thing is, and I would be open to, you know, we're the same but different. However, you know, there's a lot. My whole thing is, if there is not if there's only one person that's feeling the zing, right, and that feels the love, that just means that literally a female could be exuding love, and you just feel that. Like, it doesn't mean that she might be, like, full-blown interested in you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where people get it so fucking wrong in terms of lust. Like, and this is where I feel like, you know, thank God that I feel like guys know when they know. You know what I'm saying? But if a girl is not interested, or she has not been given the time to feel into, do I think this to be true? But also, honestly speaking, like, I don't know, it's a little bit of back and forth, like, and it could happen in all different ways, where, you know, a girl is imagining for it to be a certain way, and believes in her manifestations, and believes that her, you know, things can happen in terms of the way that she's asking for, and or better, right? But it's, like, weird, because sometimes the better and the manifestation can come in a very fucking weird way. So the whole key is to just be open, but also at the same time knowing what you know is to be true, which is, like, if your body is kind of like let's say your body is, like, turned on, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna say, you know, kind of like the fire. Like, let's say it's, you know, it's the initial meeting, it's exciting, you feel that, you know, it's a nice feeling, right? But then the next day, it's turned off. Like, somebody's, like, just, like, turned off, like, okay, it kind of went away, like, it's not, you know, it's not anything that's, like, everlasting. That usually is lust, right? And it means that if one person is feeling either the lustful feelings that were made real, which is like the, okay, it went away, and the other one is still kind of like, oh, this is like my chance, this is my person, this is whatever, like, and also like maybe even being a little too pushy about it. I'm telling you right now, give yourself some pull back a little bit, because of the fact that it really truly, basically it's like a 75% love, and it can be really just lust, right? But like true love, I feel like, is 100%. Both people are on it. They're like, yeah, I'm into you, you're into me, like, you know, that, and there's a attraction, like sexually, physically, mentally, emotionally, like, oh, the entire package meets the entire package, you know what I'm saying? So that's the type of love I'm all about, because I'm like, dude, I have a lot in my fucking package, right? So the whole thing is, it's like, and I come with a pretty big fucking package. So in terms of like, you know, how I've built myself up to be, but the whole thing is, you know, and the time that I've given myself to grow, I think I want to just say that. And also how often I've returned back to myself to get myself to a better state of spirituality and mind and physicality, and, you know, maybe not so much monetarily at this moment, because, you know, we're still working on building that, but, you know, the patience comes with that. And also, of course, when we're talking to people of the same kind, we're talking heaven on earth, which means that if one is lacking in something but yet working towards it, right, then the other might just be the other might just be really fully loaded in the other aspect of it, which they don't mind sharing if they know that there's a true love, real type of balance there. Do you get what I'm saying? So my whole thing is like, with me too, I don't mind sharing my spirituality, my advice, my suggestions, my knowledge, my, you know, experience. I don't mind it doing that at all. Like, and you know what I'm saying? If that is compensated by somebody else, by receiving what my weaknesses are, you know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, it's like, you know, again, I always love to say, you guys can judge me all you want, but I always love to say the healthiest relationships come down to business partnerships. Are you guys good in business? Because then you will be able to really handle your love life relationships really well. If you're not good in business, don't even fucking try it. Don't, and I'm talking about business as in partnerships. Like, don't even, like, if it's just, oh, he's good at marketing and I'm not going to give him, you know, reins to where, like, he can, like, if something were to happen to me, like, he can't run the business. That's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my whole thing is, it's like, and why I talk about that is because to run a business, it takes a lot of maturity, a lot of out-of-the-box thinking, a lot of being on it, a lot of care, a lot of, you know, it's kind of like tending to a child. So my whole thing is, it's like, if you don't think that your partner is responsible enough to basically take care of a child if you're gone and went out to do something, then that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? If you don't think that they're responsible enough to know better, you know, again, there's maturity, there is also, what is it that I'm trying to fucking say is maturity, and then there is responsibility, and then there is also integrity and all of that, you know, invaluable, invisible values that we're talking about here, right? So the whole thing is, it's like, you gotta level up in those, you know what I'm saying? And by the way, those values those need to be true love on all levels. Those should never fucking waver. Like, I was watching this hysterical fucking thing, like this hysterical TikTok, right, where somebody was it TikTok, whatever, it doesn't matter, something on social media, one of those reels or whatever, it should be a reel, where somebody had posted her, like, it was her and her man, and they're pissed off at each other, right? Like there's like a happening between them or whatever, but yet they still come through for one another. Like she's like pissed off at him, but she'll like cover him, right? And he's pissed off at her, but he'll open the water for her, like in terms of like a water bottle, right? But then like she's pissed off at him, but like they're still snuggling, you know what I'm saying? And she'll take off like a crumb off of his shirt and yet be like, fuck you, you know? I was laughing so hard because I was like, yo, that is true love. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, if you're fucking pissed off at somebody, if you don't like them, know that you love them, right? Like, because there are going to be those moments that you're really going to fucking be off a little bit. But the whole thing is, does the respect go out the window so that you become disrespectful? No, it doesn't, right? Like, that's not how love should be. And that's how all of us fucking want it to be. But here's what people don't tell you, is that you have to consistently show up in your fucking worth each and every fucking moment. This is why that whole thing that I just described in terms of a video works, because two people are showing up in their worth to be like, yo, I'm still there for you, right? I'm still there for me, showing up for my love towards this love, towards also you, that I'm going to open up that fucking water bottle. I'm here, worthy of love, and I'm going to show you the fucking love, and I'm going to fucking do what I have to do to show you. The worst is, and what I'm saying is, the bottom line is, it takes two people of a loving and mature and responsible kind to be responsible for their love to one another, for their love to love, you know what I'm saying? And the whole thing is, that's what true love is to me, right? Because it's not going to be perfect all the time, but you show up and you fucking do what you got to do in terms of getting through, life a little bit, right? And so my whole thing is, the worst to me is the catty bullshit, which all of you need to fucking really watch out for this season, because Libras, when they get pissed off and they get just whatever, miserable, like they get catty and petty, which is so fucking not of love, and it's so irritating in terms of how irresponsible it is and how immature it is, that like my whole thing is, go do you, boo, because if you make me think about how swaying is a choice in love, you've got it all fucked, right? So my whole thing is, you have to hone in your cattiness, you have to hone in your pettiness, because of the fact that there are people out there that don't fucking actually at the core deserve that shit, right? And my whole thing is, and will come through still in the ways that they can come through to help the mutual, type of love that it is between the two people, whether it be romantic or relationship wise, or, it doesn't fucking matter. You cannot be like that and think that somebody's gonna come at you with a quality type of love. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, because at any given moment, anybody can pull out. It's a pull out game, bitch. That's all I have to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can, and so it's like a real thing, So my whole thing is, it's like, you'll love the love while it's happening, but like you turn fucking petty, you turn nasty, dude, you'll never get tapped back into, right? Like, that's just like so you have to really think before the thinking and before the doing. That's what I want to say. So it's like, double think, and then double think again if you need to, because again, earth sign has a lot to do with the number 4. So it's like, double think 4 times over, and then fucking do what you gotta do if you have to be petty or, insecure. And that's another word that I wanted to say. It's security. It's responsibility, security. I'm gonna be writing all these down. I don't know where my fucking, whatever. Responsibility, security, maturity, and yeah, that type of thing. So if you're acting out of an insecure pettiness and or insecure or unjust pettiness or whatever have you, right? Like pettiness or just cattiness, you better believe that if a fucking earth sign fucking sees that shit going on on, they are going to pull out, and when they pull out, they might never shove it back in. You know what I'm saying? Like, unplug, bitch. That's what's going on. That's what's the worst that could be going on today. You know what I'm saying? And for those of you that have already unplugged, God bless, because there was a reason, you know. And so the whole thing is, you know, everybody has a choice whether or not they want to get plugged back in or not, right? But my whole thing is, you know, as long as you're plugged into the God, that's all that matters in terms of where you're plugged in. Anything else you can overcome, you know. The whole thing is, yeah, so I just want to let you know, just be forewarned that you really need to not double think your stuff today. You need to quadruple think your actions today before you actually make them, because if you make it towards the wrong person, you are fucked. You are absolutely fucked today. And I'm talking about love fucked, where it's like you fucked over a person that is so much of love, but also didn't want to give them the quote unquote bonus, I guess, of what they deserve, which is, you know, to give the love where love is due. You know what I'm saying? To give the what is it called? To not pay attention to, but to just give the whatever, give the it's not condolence, give the credit, thank you, credit where the credit is due. If you're not about that life, dude, you're gonna have a hard fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Especially with your loved ones. And my whole thing is, I've already put in my love. I already know how I function. I still do that, but I actually have honed it in a lot less, because for me in particularly, it has not shown up a lot. So I just kind of paused. Even my grandma yesterday was like, T, you're all too quiet lately. And I'm like, yeah, it's called unplugged. I fucking unplugged from my family. I unplugged from, you know, and that's more so to give myself the energy of where it needs to actually go, which is to get my money up and in the business. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, now's the time. You know, this is why I love negative shit too when it happens, because I can handle it, but also I transmute it, and I'm also freed up for the better parts, right? So again, the Midway Happy Way is there's something better. So understand that if something goes awry today, or something goes wrong, and something doesn't go as well as you planned it out to go, like as well as you planned it out to be, or oh, you didn't see that shit coming, if you fucking acted a certain way, just know that even if you're in the negative, you know, receiving end of it, because maybe you're the one that caused it or whatever, just know that, you know, it happened for a reason. Let it the fuck go. Know that, let it go cleanly, okay? We don't have to go back and apologize and shit. And let people do their shit that needs to get done, you know? Because, again, there's something better. Something better is always transmuted or moved on to when something negatively goes down. So just know that there's always that light at the end of the tunnel to look for. And again, tomorrow, not that you have to wait until tomorrow to meditate, but meditation does bring you the light at the end of the tunnel if you don't fucking see it. And that's a beautiful way that I put it, that I've never put it before, I don't think. That it was needing to come through so that you guys can literally just know how to function better in case you fucking really don't see the light with either yourself or someone else, or, you know, the handlings of what you're dealing with. But, you know, that's what I'm saying. Meditation is also the help of literally, like, if you were to meditate and then, like, so meditation is what I'm trying to put in the most simplest way. Meditation is the equivalent to you thinking 4 times over before you act, okay? And if you don't think that you're functioning off of the think 4 times before you act type of thing, go into meditation and know that your action, by taking the action of going into meditation, closing your eyes, just literally receiving the feeling of what this entire scenario you're meditating about, like literally is about. You literally just need to just receive what you need to receive about the scenario. So that's what meditation is about. And so meditation, I'm going to say especially for today, but I think also in tomorrow, is a super big thing to just be be a very to be a part of, right? Also, something that's also coming through is, since the quote-unquote fire element is missing out of today, I think it's a really good idea that if you wanted to meditate but not actually meditate, that's so fucking good. All right, so if you wanted to meditate but not actually meditate, a good way to meditate is by turning on a candle, right? And literally lighting it up and just staring at, hey, what's going on? Staring at the candle for what's it called? For purposes of just kind of repurifying your eyesight and your third eye. So it's really good to just do that. Like so that's what I'm saying. It's meditating without meditating. It's like fire watching. That's what you'd be doing as a meditation, instead of actually sitting there traditionally meditating. You can literally just be at your dining room table or your countertop in your kitchen. Put on, I would recommend more so a kitchen because it's better for the fire. And literally, put it on the countertop and literally light that fire up and just sit there for a couple of minutes just staring at the fucking light. It's so fun. It actually is so fun to me when that happens. It's like mesmerizing, right? So just like I love people watching is so mesmerizing to me. So the whole thing is, it's like that's a form of meditation people don't know, and that's something that you would definitely want to tap into today, in terms of just kind of, clearing out what is going on, inside of you, but also helping you to operate in your day-to-day dealings, right? So again, I don't know if there's anything else to be said, but just letting you know that this video goes onto YouTube, which is the Illuminated Muse, so you can definitely tap into it whenever you'd like there. But also, what did I want to say there is that, it's just really, it's gonna be up there, and I'm zoning out for a second. It's gonna be up there. It's going to, I would love it if you could literally subscribe and share and do all that good jazz. I'm just thinking, so, all right, to recap, the yin card for today after 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is compromise, okay? The midway happy way between today and tomorrow is there's something better, okay? And the morning up until 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow is meditation brings answers. So there is a heart healing that's going on. So there's a heal. So again, just like, don't worry if, for instance, if there is something better and you have to be real with yourself on it, and it's just something that, it's really fascinating to me. This card is really fascinating to me. I just feel like, don't be, and I don't know what wanted to come out before, but I feel like don't be devastated if it's like not your person just yet. You know what I'm saying? Just be in the enlightened aspect of being grateful that you get to know that it's not your person just yet. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like more so be grateful for the clarity and not and not grieve the lust of it, is what I wanted to say. So, and a lot of the times, guys, I'm going to just put it to you this way. we meet different people to kind of feng shui us in a way where it's like, let's say we're closed off. Every person has a different magical power. We don't realize that. And so when we meet people, sometimes it's they're exuding magical power out of them that is needed for us and that they need from us, right? So the whole thing is, it's like, it's this really kind of even exchange where it doesn't have to be like sexual, or it doesn't have to be the next person, right? Like your next like girlfriend or boyfriend, or it doesn't have to even go that deep, you know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is, it's like, obviously be open to the fact that it could be, because again, we're limited human beings. Sometimes we don't know where shit is going, right? A lot of the times I don't know where shit is going, like on this earth, but yet I'm very trusting of spirit, which is the air, which is the wind, right? In terms of giving me the receiving of what I need to feel within my water of emotions, right? That's another element. To then kind of, navigate through where I need to go and what I need to do and who I need to be in the vicinity of and all that jazz, right? So hence the adventure of my life, okay? But also, I'm just going to say there is truth to, if you let go and you don't have any expectations of who a person can be for you, or what they can, whatever, how they ended up, how or why they ended up coming into your life. The whole thing is, you can just let go and see where it takes you, but where it takes you doesn't have to always mean like sexual, right? Like sexual, or like, intense relationships, or like a serious relationship at that. Like, it doesn't mean that at all. And plus, also, let me just tell you something. People need to take very clear consideration of other people and what they want, right? So and so I'm also very controversial with this, because I'm like, yo, get to know the person who you really think you're interested in, but also don't know too much about them, right? Because that's where the mystery and the mysteriousness of it all lies, right? So my whole thing is, it's like, don't, like, it's okay not to know, you know what I'm saying? But also, don't ask me too many questions, because I don't want you to know, right? Like, so it's like, here's the thing. If you can put it this way, if you can close your eyes, talking about meditation, and if you can love like a blind person, right? Like, where it's like, they don't know squat about who the fuck it is on the other side, right? This is the unknown. So this is why I love to even come at you guys without my face being shown at these podcasts, because the whole thing is, feel me first. Feel where I'm coming from. This way I don't have to fucking over-explain myself. I don't have to, like, feel as if I'm not coming from love, Like, some people will all the time, we're in a world now where so many people are just too touchy about different things being said. But it's like, if you understand, put your common sense to also the feelings of me, you will be fucking dandy. You know what I'm saying? You won't have anything to question, right? And I think that's where... Personally, I don't like to be questioned, because you should not be questioning my integrity, right? But the whole thing is also, and you should not be questioning me in terms of a female, because I'm just all mysteriousness, right? So the whole thing is like, I'm like more black than white. So, and I am scary, right? Like, that is scary to like not know. But if you can close your eyes and meditate into me to feel out who I am as a person, and really kind of know that that is the truth of the matter, then you're in the clear. You don't have anything to worry about. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, it's like, and I would absolutely take my own advice on that. Like, I will do that today, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because I too can super be discriminatory of it. And I feel like a lot of girls can be too, though. You know what I'm saying? So maybe this is divine feminine, like, suggestion. Like, do that for yourself today. Because sometimes we need to do that in order to pull forward and pull through with somebody that might be in the works of our lives, or somebody that we've met you know, recently, and, you know, like, they have you questioning it, you have you questioning it, what the fuck, you know, but, like, you think you know what you're talking about, but maybe you don't really know what you're talking about. So, again, think 4 times over before actually putting yourself into a situation that you might not actually, like, you might have already known from the get, you know, is not a good ordeal, but yet you might not have listened to yourself. But so with that, I'm saying give yourself the time to figure it out. Like, I know that I'm not, like, for instance, on a yin level, I was just thinking about it right now, is like, I may not make any decisions whatsoever come, you know, like, in this Libra, in a Libra season, you know what I'm saying? Not that I'm fearing of it, but, like, if I don't have to make the decision now, I might not. I might take more time to be in the air of it all, which is to think and to, you know, and to ponder, right? And to maybe even research it out, right? But the whole thing is, you know, when it comes down to, like, major, like, fucking, like, life decisions, you know, that's happening next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's happening in the new year. I'm not, there ain't, like, I don't think, unless spirit overtakes me, obviously, you know, the divine spirit overtakes me and things happen, like, in terms of, like, it's out of my hands, this is just all meant to be, then I'm down for it. But other than that, like, I'm not, you know, and that's without anybody's fucking voodoo or juju being put on me, because fuck you, I don't even do that to other people. So, you know, there ain't none of that even coming my way, because that is being blocked for sure. You know what I'm saying? That's not natural, and that's not letting shit happen the way that it naturally needs to happen. That's being insecure about life, is what I'm trying to tell you. So if you're doing some sort of fucking weird shit like that, also talk about Octoberness going on and, like, some witchy stuff. I have to tell you right now, it's so funny that, like, I'm not against witches doing their thing, right? But my whole thing is, when there's a witch not doing her thing, she's the most powerful bitch out there. Because guess what? She doesn't have to fucking do any of those potions or lotions or, you know, whatever have you. It's a confidence thing. It's for me or it's not for me. That is the hands down thing. That's what we go with. We don't go, so I'm talking about, like, the witchiness, the good witches are fine, because that's that's actually who a good witch is, what I just described, right? But the witches that think they're witches and they're, like, all black and, like, whatever, like, you know, the traditional ones, like, God bless them all. I have nothing against them at all. And I'm not saying that because I'm scared of what they can do or their power or whatever, because I know my power, even as a you know, quote unquote positive dark arts person, you know, a positive dark arts believer, I guess, right? Like, I don't fuck around with that shit, because I'm not gonna go, like I said, there's quadrants. We're talking about the fours today, by the way, A-team. So and you guys are the A-team too, but I'm saying it's from the A-team. You guys are the Earth Angels, right? So, but my whole thing is, we're talking about the fours. So we're talking about quadrants. I've already went over these quadrants. Is like, there's the upper quadrants and there's the lower quadrants, and of both the negative and the positives. So my whole thing is, I should really draw this out for you guys, but, like, literally, I don't fuck around with the last quadrant, which is the dark arts. Like, that is not to be fucked with. And I'm not saying out of fear. I'm saying that you, the person that's actually doing the fucking dark arts, needs to watch the fuck out, because that shit is karmic, and that shit will come right back at you, and you don't know where the fuck in your area of life is it going to come back at you at. So my whole thing is, and I was, like, laughing about it. Do I talk about it? Okay, I was laughing about it the other day, because I was like, it's so funny. I like end up wearing dark stuff, like, in the daytime, which also could translate into neonness, right? But the whole thing is at night I wear white, which is crazy, right? Because it's like it's so funny because like it's like normally you'd be like, oh, the creepy person wears the dark, and it's like, no, I don't. I actually wear like I wear like light stuff at night. And like the funny thing is like that happened to me the other day, and I was like, I never even realized it until I was like walking back from somewhere. I was like, yo, I'm so funny. Like this life is so funny. So the whole thing is, you know, my whole thing is, and I'm okay to say that, like, I am the person to be scared of, right? Like, I own that aspect of me. I actually really find it funny, too, because the whole thing is, it's like there's so many people out there that are scared of potent, pure positivity. You know what I'm saying? And, but also, I think it's because when you translate that into pissed offness, or you translate that into, you know, fuck around and you're gonna find out, like, you're gonna find out. Like, I think it's even more worse. I think it's even more worse karma coming at you than a dark arts person putting on some fucking negative juju on somebody else and having that fucking karma come back. That's how potent I feel the confident, positive, you know, dark arts type of, you know, energy, you know, the positive dark arts type of energy, you know, works out to somebody's fucking extravagant benefit, is like, in terms of fucking around and finding out. Like, that's the wild shit, you know what I'm saying? And people don't know that. That's why I am such a believer in don't fuck around and don't find out, because it's really uncommonsensical to do that shit. Even like the dark arts that like witches are like doing and shit like that, like in terms of, you know, working with all the elements in a negative way. Like, my whole thing is, it's first of all, it's a temporary fix. Second of all, you're gonna get something back in a negative way. Why would you do that? I mean, the common sense just fucking flies out the fucking door like a witch on a fucking broomstick. Like, that's exactly what it is. Like, it makes no sense to actually do that. It makes sense to put your power towards where it is going to be most potent and long lasting and positive. And if you can't fucking do it, let your God do it. Like, that type of thing. Like, that to me is the most powerful and purity standpoint that you could stand in and stand your ground in and stand for in all of this life. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, I think a lot of people don't want to align their behaviors with that shit, so they fucking you know, just kind of don't work at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't think, like, maybe it's too much time, or maybe it's too much energy for them, or, you know, everybody wants their own what is it called, payback rate, like payouts, like immediately, and as do I. But the whole thing is, it's like, I also want long lasting. So my whole thing is, it's like, I'm just gonna have to put in the work. Like, that's it, you know? I can't do the, you know, I can't feel gross. Put it that way. If you make me feel fucking gross about some shit, it's an absolute no. It's a hella no. It's a heavenly, even more so hella no. You know what I'm saying? Because heavenly is always going to be more so than a hella no, for sure. Because it's just, it overrides, you know? So the whole thing is, that's where I stand. That is concrete. That's solid. So, yeah. So think about the shit that you're doing, and the commonsensical aspect of it being, you know, are there negative, like, what are the negative consequences to this? Like, both spiritually, mentally, emotionally, as well as what are the rewards to this, right? And you have to fucking, I don't know, like, you have to make something in your life more meaningful and important than just getting your way, or getting a whole lot of money immediately, and getting your way immediately, right? Like, it's not even, sometimes not about that. Sometimes, like, you really just do have to kind of, you know, become an Olympic star or Olympic champion at your craft, again, quote unquote craft, and then fucking be able to, you know, shine that out super brightly, and have that be the power that is lended towards the power of good, and the power that is good for most people, for most of all, right? And I don't know why the power of the pussy is coming through, where it's like, I think that you guys need to also, I think females are probably needing to do more of this and are having to have a little bit more patience with the whole idea that the midway happy way might just be you coming to the conclusion of there's something better and I still have to fucking wait on it. Like, that sucks, right? That news fucking sucks, but at the same time, I am always siding with how great that fucking clarity is for my own well-being of my entire wholesome spectrum and aspect of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I rather that negative clarity for the positive, you know, results and rewards of it all, more so than, all right, well, I know this is bad for me, but I'm going to do it anyway, and whatever, you know, like, no, I'm not going to fucking put my energy towards something that is not really all that good for me. I might as well put the energy towards something that is absolutely great for me for now and in the long run, even if I might not want to be doing that right now, and I want to be doing the short-term thing, you know what I'm saying? But just know the quality of it is going to be fucking phenomenal. And so it's counting me down. So basically, hold on to your patience, guys. All right, hold on to your pants too. Okay, we fly in here. Bye.